All right, so my video cut off because my storage was too full. So, like I said, these are like really weird things about me, really weird um, things I have to deal with a lot. Mostly, the hoarding isn't really a thing. It's really just checking my car when the lights are off. If the lights are off, because I don't want the battery to like blow out. Um, Constantly praying every time I before I start my car, before I eat a meal. If I do something bad that's considered like a sin, I'm always like praying like at least maybe 20 times that day so I can be forgiven. And since my little like near death experience, it's just gotten like a lot worse. Like I said, more with like reading. I've been reading. So here's the thing about reading. I don't want to say that I was illiterate. I just had a low reading level prior to the age 22. It wasn't really my thing to read books. And the more I got into them, the more obsessed I've got over like just reading, like just buying books, collecting them, learning about facts. It's become an obsession. And I think it's gotten worse with like just the more I know, the more I want to just gain like a knowledge on like once again, I don't tell you my major, but there was a section in my book where it gave, it was talking about, here's an example. It was talking about, let's just say, religion. It talked about government, and it talked about like sports. Those are just three random things I can think of without giving you a hint on what I'm studying. So religion, sports, and government, right? I have the need to find a book that talks about the history of sports, a book on government, and a book on religion. I know religion is basically the Bible or the Quran. So I'll literally start while I'm studying this textbook. I'll also be looking at another book to get an understanding of what this page is about. Let me break it down to you again. So if I have a page, right, and the page in my textbook is talking about, like, here's an example of math, right? Math is talking about overpopulated countries, but they're giving you, they're showing the overpopulated countries in place value. I have to, and this is a real page in the math book I have. I'll literally be looking at a book. Also, while I'm looking at this math book, I'll look at a book that talks about countries, that talks about it's like a whole like encyclopedia. Or if I can't find a book, I'll go on Wikipedia and look up the word population, look up the word countries, get a better understanding of it. Like I have to literally study what is inside of a textbook. I just can't look at a word. Like when I first started reading, I used to read word for word. And what I mean by word for word, how insane it sounds. This is how much I did it, where I understand how to read now. I learned how to read word for word. Here's an example. Here's a sentence for you. The cat jumped down the street. Now the cat jumped down the street is a sentence. It gives a subject, gives a verb. The cat, he jumped down the street. That's the whole sentence. It's a complete thought, complete sentence. Now here's how I read. I will look up the word the, which is an indefinite article that's used before a subject. The cat, which is a noun, is a animal from the feline family used for companionship or catching mice. Jumped is a verb meaning to spring or to leave the ground, verb. The cat jumped, I say on the street. Now on is a preposition. On will be used in the sense of he jumped on, like positioning. So a preposition. And then street, you would classify as a noun, meaning like it could be the public roadway, word, because it's an ambiguous ambiguous word. It can have like a whole different meaning. It could be like street can be classified as an adjective, like street as in like hood or like ghetto. I don't know, but I would read like that to get a better understanding of what words mean. And it took forever just to get like one page done, but I can assure you I learned how to read doing it like that. But when you have difficulties reading like normal people do, as in people don't read like that, but when I read something, I have to really go in and delve and see every aspect of the page to get a better understanding of it. Like if it's an article, if it's a newspaper out and it's talking about like person killed, like it talks about let's just say um let's say 5 people were shot on Nova Road in Daytona Beach, right? I would literally look up hey, what's Daytona Beach? Where's this at? Hey, what's a murder? Can you explain what a murder is to me? Can you explain uh what's classified as people? What does that mean? And Wikipedia is like an obsession with me because it gives me better just a better understanding when I read things. But like I said, reading is a thing. Checking for like if things are on or off. When I know I always have to make sure when I get out of my car, the alarm is set like it's completely locked. Because if I don't hit the alarm, I feel like the car is not locked. Skin picking and like since I have facial hair now, I don't do a lot of skin picking, but a lot of like brushing of my eyebrows, playing with my hair, like twirling it around sometimes. Putting like gel in my hair after I wash it. That's like a weird obsession I have. Making things before it used to be making sure everything was like all in like patterns, like lined up neatly. But when I became like a book hoarder, I sort of became a little bit of a slob. 'Cause I was just so obsessed with just trying to learn everything. And food as well. Here's the weirdest one that I can never explain. I don't really tell a lot of people this, but I don't like being around anything associated with spit or something that touched someone's mouth. So if you have like a gum wrapper on the floor, I can't eat if it's a gum wrapper on the floor. And that's so weird, I know. If it's anything like candy wrapperish, because you touch it with your mouth to eat it and you put it on the floor, I can't eat anything if it's present. Let's say you threw like a wrapper in the tub and I had to get in the tub. I couldn't get in the tub. I couldn't even touch it because, like I said, anything associated with your mouth or spit, I can't be around. But just some advice for parents with OCD. Parents with kids with OCD. Don't have anything that triggers a reaction out of them. Don't have it present around them. Like chewing gum, certain smells, trash is another thing. Don't have trash around them, especially at like a table. Like certain people with OCD, they can't eat in certain areas. Like with me, in our break room, I could sometimes eat food. Like here's one thing about me. It's really weird with my food sensitivity as well. I don't eat out of stores that where they sell clothing at. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if like the smell of the clothing or just I don't know. I can never explain it, but I can't eat out of stores that sells clothes. Walmart is an example. This is like a Midwestern store, but it was a store called Wegmans that not Wegmans. It was a store in Wisconsin that was like a everything kind of store, but I couldn't eat out of it because they sold clothing and hardware products. I can't ever explain that at all. But it was a store out of Wisconsin I ate. I ate at it once, and the next time I couldn't eat it because it was just like, man, they have clothing in here. But don't do anything or any behavior that bothers them. Like, please allow them to pursue the things that they want to do, as in to make their life easier. If they want to line up their shoes in their room, please let them. If they want to line their books up in a certain pile, please let them. Don't discourage them. Don't tell them, don't do that. Please allow them to do that, because that can make a difference. It can make a big difference. And also, trying to think something else.